Well, I couldn't attend the conference of the EFF, the NPA, because over a dispute over my suspension. I was suspended about 6 weeks before the conference, and the suspension was unconventional in that it didn't rely on the code of conduct of the EFF summoned by its constitution, but largely the suspension rested on 2 counts.
Yeah.
On the one hand, the leadership said that it's in possession of an intelligence report in which they claim that I'm part of the infiltration strategy by the MKP. I'm working with the MKP. I'm planning to go to join them. I'm waiting for some opportune moment. The second one largely rested on the fact that I knew about the then Deputy President Floyd Shivambu's departure, and I didn't tell the leadership. Of course, I was told to stay at home, cease my participation in Parliament and the rest of the activities of the EFF. And so it was very important for me, because they said that the investigation is still ongoing, and when the investigation is finished, I then would be given an opportunity to respond to these allegations. I think we can all agree these are dangerous and very serious allegations. At a later stage, the leadership argued that the report would only be ready after conference, and the matter has been referred to the leadership after the conference. It seemed fair for me to wait to clear my name in relation to these allegations, so that I don't function with a cloud, a dark cloud on my head or a gun on my face. As I said, we can all agree these are very serious allegations that one had betrayed the revolution, had been disloyal, and that indeed you are a double agent of some sort. Of course, I can state categorically now that I never planned to join the MKP. I still don't. I never worked with anybody in the MKP in relation to some conspiracy about my departure. And I think that whatever information they say they have was based largely on lies. Secondly, I did know about the departure of Floyd Shivambu. He did come to tell me of his consideration, and indeed I did tell him that, look, you would have to take the leadership into confidence, and he did. The idea that I should have ran behind his back and informed other people or the leadership suggests that I'm an informant, a gossiper, or a wedge driver. I am none of those. It was Floyd's decision. He had to communicate it. It was not my decision. It was his. He had to communicate it, and he did. Obviously, the conference constituted a moment of the end of the term of office that I was part of as the leader of the EFF. And I hoped very deeply that post the conference, there would be reconsideration of these positions, in particular that moment of natural justice, that moment of giving me an opportunity to respond to what are damning allegations from an organization that I gave my life to and that I love. But that has not come through, and I think that we can all read the room. I did, and so can any thinking person. That is why I think it's important to give the general public a closure on this matter. I will not be pursuing any of that report, because the attitude of the collective leadership is very clear. I don't think there's any interest, and personally as well, I've let it go. I have taken a decision to step away completely from party politics. I'm leaving party politics. I think I've made my contribution in that space. We don't live in a one-party state. We're not in the camps. We're not a band. Politics are a free activity in South Africa, and party politics are not the monopoly of making social contribution. I think after this episode, I've taken a decision to leave all of party politics and contribute in the first instance to the academy. In the second instance, I'm very, very passionate about the upliftment of levels of discourse in the country. But most importantly, I think the terrain of struggle that has been neglected over the years is the civil society space. That civil society space, I'm interested in it because it is where you are able to cultivate and agitate the notions of freedom, where liberation is about the people. Yeah. The people liberate themselves. And community development, research, advocacy. You know, it's time somebody did for the people of this country what AfroForum is doing for the Afrikaners. Yeah. I think that is the civil society space that one is having a conversation and thinking about. I'm saying that party politics don't monopolize the contribution to social change. Yeah. And I have taken a decision to step out. I have left the EFF. I have left party politics. EFF is a political party. I have handed over my resignation as a member, and it is because where I want to go and contribute, I can't hold a single party membership. But overall, I think that I've made my contribution, and I think that there are brilliant young men and women, old men and women as well, in the space that will continue in that category, as it were, of party politics. I think I'll contribute elsewhere in the remaining decades of my life. So I was not in a limbo, Mzwandile. Yeah. I was suspended.
Okay, yes.
And such a suspension was posited as being extraordinary, and therefore it did not use the legal instruments available in the organizational constitution, which means that it was very difficult, as it were, to could have acted in any other way, because I didn't want to destroy, distract, disrupt an organization that I had spent the past 11 years of my life building and contributing to its unity, its stability, and its impact in society. I have no interest in that. My interest from the beginning was in the economic emancipation movement. I have no doubt in my heart sitting here that the leadership acted from a position of trying to protect the mission, of trying to protect the organization. Yeah. I have no doubt in my heart that the mission of economic emancipation in our lifetime is still very much alive as an objective of their actions. I disagree, of course, with the way they handled my matter, but certainly I think that the cause, and I would hope that that becomes the focus. The focus becomes the reason we formed the EFF, which is economic freedom in our lifetime. And those ideas, fortunately for the EFF, and this is the powerful achievement of the EFF, have spread. Who would have thought that the Ramaphosa will sound like Robert Mugabe, that he would read in terms of expropriation of land from the script of the economic freedom fighters? Who would have thought that those ideas would be in Parliament today? When we started, they were only in the EFF. At the moment, you can count more than 4 political parties that have accepted these ideas. And that was the objective, because even though one was not expelled, I was not suspended or expelled from the ANC, we left in faith of the fact that the ANC and the establishment sought to destroy Julius Malema, to try and scare all of us, that if you raise these ideas, this is what will happen to you. And today, they have become the hegemony of progressive political discourse in South Africa. It's a great achievement of the EFF itself. I am leaving party politics, but I am fully aware, although I fundamentally disagree with how my matter was dealt with, I think that the leadership still has the best interest of the revolution at heart. As I said, until recently, I didn't have any thoughts of leaving the EFF or leaving party politics. And so it is only safe to say at this moment, that is my consideration. That is the direction that my life is taking. What is important today is to bring closure to the public, to the people that we had served. I will cherish my days. It was a privilege to have been given that opportunity to serve in Parliament, to serve in the various structures of the EFF. I will cherish those days of my life, all my living days. I will cherish that particular privilege, and three different, or rather three aspects with which I'm going to be going into my direction. I'm fortunate that in the way I have developed in my life as a young man, I was never a one-dimensional person. So I will put all my talents into service in the academy, as well as contributing to the upliftment of public discourse, but certainly the conversation with all South Africans of a common mind of how do we constitute a civil society outfit that emphasizes that the people are the liberators, that emphasizes community development, that emphasizes the notions of freedom in which we fight against the conditions that stop us from being responsible for ourselves, but also that is steeped in research as well as advocacy, very, very ground-driven. As the civil society organizations and the civil society speech, which stems from our constitution, by the way, that we had seen in democracies, but certainly in the liberation struggle. I think that space is a space that we have neglected, and is the space where even the renewal of the entire political terrain in South Africa may come from. So that's basically where I want to go put my energies. And I must state on the record that I hold nothing whatsoever personal against my brothers and sisters in the EFF. And I really wish them the best. And I wish that they could continue with the same commitment that we have demonstrated over the last 11, 12 years in advancing the cause of economic freedom in our lifetime.